Hey there everybody, it's OldFan, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Dragon Ball toys of a very little known toy company from Argentina, Ultra Figus. I must admit that after all these years, I still know very little about Ultra Figus, or the extent of everything they may have produced. I do know that for at least a little while they made yo-yos, and they also made what I believe are sticker books for various anime and cartoons including Robotech, Thundercats, and Pokemon. And here are two examples of their Dragon Ball Z albums. But what Ultra Figus is best known for is their wonderful collection of 36 Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z minifigures. Though their size may have been small, though their paint may have been sloppy, and while the sculpts at times leave something to be desired, this collection of minifigures nonetheless has won the hearts of collectors around the world lucky enough to have found them, for their unique charm, their rarity, as well as the fact that many obscure characters from both Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are represented. And also because this series has one or two interesting surprises which we'll talk more about soon. These toys were presumably only ever released in Argentina, and their extreme rarity because of this has given them holy grail status for many Dragon Ball minifigure collectors. In 2007 or so, I was contacted by a fellow collector on the Dragonballtoys.com forum who was selling off his entire collection, and incredibly among his items was nearly an entire box of unopened Ultra Figus Dragon Ball figures. I was overjoyed! The figures all came packaged in printed silver trading card style packs. One figure came in each pack, and to my surprise, each pack also contained a trading card. You can see an assortment of them now. Particularly interesting is the name change to Chi-Chi. They changed it to Milk? Why? And now let me introduce you to all the figures in the entire line. The ones photographed on the black cloth are the ones that came in the box I bought. The first is Kid Son Goku, Adult Krillin, Kid Krillin, Bora, Tenshin Han, Master Roshi, Mai, Lunch, Bulma, Son Goku, Gai Mao, Yamcha, Mr. Popo, Adult Chi-Chi, or Milk, Vegeta, Dodoria, Kid Chi-Chi Milk, Princess Snake, Nappa, Udonai Baba, Kui, Zarbon, King Yemma, the Oni Gaz, Uzoru, Raditz, Piccolo, First Form Frieza, and the following which I don't have individual pictures of. Chaozu, one of the only, if not the only, child Piccolo figure in existence, Upa, Oolong, Cyberman, Puar, Shu, and Pilaf. But oh, the plot thickens! One of the big surprises about Ultra Figus that I hinted at earlier is that 10 of the minifigures actually did have a release in Japan by a company called Robust. Because the release dates are entirely unclear to me in regards to any of these toys, I have to admit that I'm ultimately not sure which release came first. Does anybody out there know which came first, Ultra Figus or Robust? And what exactly is that the Robust figures are being marketed with? Is that milk or glue? The Robust figures are all very slightly larger than their Ultra Figus counterparts, and the overall quality is higher as well. The Robust releases all came mounted on round orange bases that they could not be removed from. The base is hollow, and I've often wondered if they were meant to be bottle tops for the product that they were marketed alongside. And now on to another surprise. On a fluke, I once acquired 11 mystery minifigures that turned out to be part of an entire separate 1-inch line of Ultra Figus Dragon Ball minifigures. These 11 figures are without question some of the very rarest figures in my entire collection, so much so that I've never, in more than a decade of collecting Dragon Ball toys on the internet, have ever seen any in another person's collection, save for one other person who owned the small adult Krillin you see now. I've also never found images of them online anywhere. Each 1-inch figure is an entirely different sculpt of the larger 2-inch version, but the style and colors leave no question about their origin. One of my biggest questions about the 1-inch line is how exactly were these figures released and packaged? Was it possible to acquire them from boxes like the one I had purchased? The packs that I opened only contained figures of the 2-inch line. From the best that Google Translate can tell me, the yellow icon on the box translates to, "The envelope contains 1 large, 2 small plus 1 card." But strangely, no pack that I opened contained 2 small figures, all contained 1 figure regardless of size, and all came with a trading card. To complicate matters, the side of the box does in fact show figures from the 1-inch line. The Princess Snake figure must be the 1-inch version, as she isn't standing on the white base like the 2-inch version has. Upa, Shu, Chaozu, and Oolong are all harder for me to know for sure, but the Mr. Popo is absolutely the 1-inch line version, as I have him and I can identify him. Though I do have the 1 and 2-inch versions of the Uranai Baba, I have to admit that I find it very hard to tell which one it is on the box. Even more surprising, it turns out that this 1-inch line also had another release. This time by a company I know virtually nothing about by the name of Winters. This time is unpainted, either gold or silver, rubbery plastic figures, and this time with new Dragon Ball GT sculpts thrown in. I don't have any of the Dragon Ball GT figures pictured here, and I know nothing about them, but I was able to pick up a small assortment of the others on eBay a few years back. The detail and quality on these figures is greatly below the regular Ultra Figus 1-inchers, and it's interesting to note that while the molds are clearly the same between the Winters and 1-inch Ultra Figus releases, there is always some difference between the two toys. For example, in the Winters version, Yamcha has his hand on his hip. I don't know what the reason is for this. Do you? Now one final mystery. Where does this Kami figure come from? There is no known 1 or 2-inch Kami figure from the original Ultra Figus line that I know of, or has ever been seen. I have no reason to believe that this mysterious Kami figure might be some evidence that maybe there is a 1 or 2-inch Ultra Figus Kami that I just have never seen, but I certainly hope that that might be the case. One other question I've always had about this line is why no Gohan figure? It seems like such an amazing oversight not to include him among such an impressive lineup of characters. But hey, you can't have everything. And sadly, this concludes our look at the ultra-rare Dragon Ball toys of Ultra Figus. If you are interested in collecting these toys, sadly there's not much advice I can give you on how to find them. The insanely rare 1-inch figures I actually did buy off of eBay years ago, believe it or not, but who knows if they'll ever show up again. And I've never ever seen any of the 2-inchers on eBay. But then again, I'm not necessarily the best judge of that. There is one other option, and that's that these figures do sometimes pop up on a South American eBay site called Mercado Libre. Maybe things have changed now on Mercado Libre since the last time I tried, but I have to admit that I've never met a single individual who's ever been able to successfully order anything from that site. If anyone out there knows literally anything about these figures that I don't, please do get in touch. Does anyone out there know of any other releases of these toys that I might be unaware of? Does anyone out there have any of these figures? Particularly any of the 1-inchers or Winters releases? If so, please tell me all about it in the comments or make a video response. So thank you to everyone for watching. What Dragon Ball toy company do you guys think I should take a look at next time? Until then, all the best and bye for now.